so welcome, Leah. It's great to meet you.
Hi, thanks. Thanks for seeing me.
It's great to have you here. Did you find the place okay?
I did. I've actually been in this building before for something else, so it
Oh.
was really easy for me to find.
Perfect. Yeah. Wonderful. Okay, so let's just start with telling me like what brought you here today.
Yeah. Okay. I guess. So I don't usually come to counseling. Like this isn't something that I would normally do. But it was a friend of mine that really suggested that I kind of need to start thinking about myself a little bit more. But I guess really simply is that so my parents are aging and my dad has gotten really sick. And so I'm kind of struggling with having to care for him and kind of his illness with like supporting my mom through it all while at the same time as I have two young kids. So I'm kind of feeling like I'm balancing like both these worlds, and it's just been really really hard.
That sounds like a lot is going on for you, and yeah, you're a little bit maybe exhausted. It sounds like you're doing a lot of caregiving.
I definitely feel like I'm doing a lot of caregiving, and I'm not really like taking the time for myself anymore, and that has had like some impacts with like my marriage and like my friend life. That I think I'm really just being stretched too far.
Mm. So you're taking care of your parents
Mm-hmm.
and you're taking care of your kids. You're kind of burning the candle at both ends.
Yeah, totally. So like with my dad, so he had cancer. He's kind of going through all the treatments, but he hasn't really like accepted that. So he has like stage 4 cancer, but like he won't admit that he has stage 4 cancer. So that's been really hard just to be like, Dad, you gotta look out for yourself. So it's been really hard to like let that piece go a little bit. Um, and so then also like supporting my mom because my dad's not really talking about it and trying to like, I don't know, support her with his new illness. It's just been a lot.
Yeah, it sounds like you're really kind of focusing on everyone else and trying to fix them or help them and kind of are you maybe putting them before you?
Oh, I'm definitely doing that. Yeah. And I think that I'm realizing that that's not good. But I don't know how to get back.
Hmm. Okay. So correct me if I'm wrong. I'm just hearing you say that maybe like your goal is to get back to kind of you
Mm-hmm.
and maybe taking care of yourself.
Yeah, so I'm not one to like ask for help a lot either. Like it's really hard for me. Like for me, even coming here today to meet with you was really really hard. Like I thought a bunch of times to like cancel before coming. Um, so I think it's hard for me to accept help or to like admit that I can't do it all on my own. Yeah, I have siblings and like they could be a support. I just haven't asked them. Yeah.
So when you say that it's hard for you to ask for help, have you always kind of been the helper? Is that kind of your role that you?
I think so. So there's 5 kids in my family, and so I think we kind of all have our roles. And my role, I guess, has kind of been making sure all the relationships are smooth between each other. And
You're the
like,
peacemaker.
I'm the peacemaker, totally the peacemaker. And so like I know that like if my one brother were to be in charge, it would be like disastrous for the whole family. Or if like my sister were to take on more, I would just have to be like giving my sister like support and helping debrief the situation. And so in some ways, it's just easier for me to do it all. Like if I ask them for help, then I also have to help them with that help.
Yeah, yeah. That sounds like a lot. There's a lot going on, and that you're worried. Is worry kind of?
Yeah, worry is a part of it for sure. I'm definitely worried about my parents, but I'm also worried about like my kids because I'm not necessarily there as much anymore. Um, and then like with my marriage, like it's kind of taking the back seat a bit too, so that's been really hard.
So you're putting everyone else and their needs ahead of you and your own needs and your personal life, your marriage isn't getting the attention that you wish that it did.
Well, when you say it like that, it sounds really bad. But yeah, I guess I am. I haven't really seen it like I haven't viewed it like that before, but you're right that I am doing that.
Yeah, sometimes it helps to just kind of say it out loud and hear someone kind of reflect back what they're hearing, right? Because when you're in this situation, it can be really hard to take a step back and see what's going on when you're just already so busy, and sounds like your mind is kind of always going and running, so
and
it makes sense that you haven't been able to kind of take that.
Totally, and it's all like taking care of everybody else. So like maybe I need to figure out a way to take care of myself more. I feel so guilty doing that.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, tell me more about that. Like, what would make you feel guilty?
I guess it would be any time that I take just for me would mean just it's time away from my kids or my husband or my family, and it's time that like I could be spending with them. Especially when I'm like stretched so thin anyways. Yeah.
So you feel that if you did take time for yourself, for any self-care or kind of, just your own, whatever that might look like to you, you feel guilty because you feel like you should be taking that time for other people, and that's selfish? Is that how you feel about it?
I do feel that way. I do feel that way.
Yeah.
That if I were to take time for myself, it's selfish. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's understandable. Well, you're a mother, and then that's a lot of mothers that I talk to, they say the same thing. They feel definitely guilty when they're taking care of themselves because, I mean, they say the same thing that I should be taking care of my kids, and if I take time for myself, I'm not being a good mom.
Yeah, totally. I think I definitely feel selfish about taking the time, but I'm also realizing that I think I have to too, which is kind of hard too, and trying to explain that to like my family and my husband and my kids. Be like, no, you know what? I need to do this for myself. Yeah.
How do you think that they would react if you said, you know what, I'm going to take an hour to myself? What do you think your family members how they would respond?
I think they might be like surprised, and they might be upset, but they'd probably get over it. I guess it might make me, be a better mom in some ways too, if I take some time for myself.
Yeah, the better care you take care of yourself, it means the better care you can take care of those around you.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point. Is that I guess if I'm taking on this caregiver role, I need to, make sure that I'm fully taken care of first. Yeah.
Because you don't want to get to the point where you're so exhausted that then you can't take care of anyone else.
Or like I snap at my kids.
Yeah.
Because that's a fear too. If I'm, too tired and stretched too thin, and yeah, that's a good point.
Do your family members, your parents or your husband, do they take time for themselves?
Yeah. Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
That's true. I don't really question that. Don't really question them kind of taking that for themselves. Maybe I need to relook at this in a different way.
Yeah, it helps to kind of shift your view sometimes. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Is that something? So let's play this out a bit. And if you went to your husband and said, "I'm going to take some time for me, you take care of the kids, and you do dinner," and he wasn't supportive of that, how do you think you would react in that situation?
Well, I'd probably ask him ahead of time, and I'd have him agree to it ahead of time, so that he knew kind of what the expectations of him were that night, and that he'd probably be really supportive of it. I just haven't asked him yet, or at all.
It's not like, is that because you mentioned it before that asking for help is something that's really hard for you?
I think so.
Yeah, so that can be really challenging if you're not used to it.
I think I'm not used to it, and I haven't really done it before, so it would be new for me.
Yeah, new things are difficult.
Yeah.
The first time you do anything new is always the hardest.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But I think I need to. So. Okay.
Yeah, that's something that you would like to. Can that be your homework maybe for
Sure. Okay.
for in between sessions?
Sure. So to take some time for me.
Yeah.
I think I could do that. I think I would like that.
So what if you got to pick anything as your self-care time?
Mm-hmm.
Like what would you want to do?
Like maybe going for a walk. Yeah, taking some time by myself. Not worrying about everyone else around me, but just kind of thinking about myself and being in the moment a bit more. So yeah.
That sounds great.
Okay.
Yeah.
I could do that.
Good. Well, it sounds like we have a good place to start from because there is a lot of going on for you.
Yeah.
You have a sick father,
Yes.
which must,
Yeah,
be
that's
very
hard.
difficult.
Yeah, it's definitely hard to think about like your parents kind of getting to that stage where, like they're getting to an age where death might happen. I don't really have much experience with like people in my life dying, so I'm not prepared for that in any way. And then also like having them realize that they're getting close to death too, and having them talk about it in a different way has been really it's upset me in ways that I didn't see coming before.
A lot of new things going on for you.
Yeah.
Very challenging.
Yeah.
Well, it's I want to commend you for coming here because you've asked for help already.
Yeah.
So
that's a good point. I have. Yeah.
It's really difficult to come to counseling. It can be challenging to come and be vulnerable and.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I think it's been hard, but I think I'm realizing that I can't do this alone, and that I need to ask for a bit of help.
Yeah, so it sounds like you're already kind of taking those steps.
Yeah, I guess I am.
The ball's kind of rolling. Yeah. Because the hardest part is to get started. So, you've asked for help. You've asked somebody for help now. Maybe the next person you ask for help, maybe it won't be as difficult.
Yeah, that's a good point. Maybe it won't be.
Well, then, how often would you like to? Do you want to come back once a week or what?
Maybe in 2 weeks.
2 weeks?
Yeah.
Great.
Okay.
So we'll plan to come back and meet again in 2 weeks. And in between now and then, you've expressed that you want to ask.
Yes, I guess I'll try to take some time for me and kind of ask for a little bit more help with my day-to-day life. So.
Yeah, that's a really good goal for in between. That can be our short-term goal right now. Your first step will be to try to focus on you a bit more.
Okay.
And then going forward, maybe long-term can be kind of exploring how your father's illness is impacting you, because I'm sure it's.
Yeah, and I think that I haven't really processed that either, so that would be good.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much for coming in today. I feel that we've got a good start and we have some great ideas flowing already. And again, I just want to commend you for asking for help because, you've stated that that's really difficult and you've done it. So
thank you. Yeah, thank you.
Good. Okay, so then just schedule for another 2 weeks out at the reception, and I'm looking forward to seeing you.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay.